means that it leaves a lot of space in the midfield. So Collingwood smart enough to identify that as an opportunity and then good enough to use it in that first quarter.
Second term, Icon Park, Sunday afternoon football. It's the Pies by 8 points. Moody got the hit out. Egan's been impressive, feeds it back to Moody. Gets a kick inside 50, coming out to meet it McAvoy. Good defensive spoil, gets it to the front for Porter to somehow to slip through 3 tackles. And in the end, she's penalised. Free kick. It's going to come back to Katie Loynes, who's a little bit sore. To Moody, hacks a kick inside 50. Walker attacked it, clean hands. Off to Hosking. Now Egan, just backpedaled, popped a kick. Harris was the target, 2-on-1 to beat in the air. Livingston runs into McAvoy, and gone. Lucy McAvoy, 45 out directly in front. Wants to deliver it quickly to Vesio. Great defensive work from Brazel to be shoulder to shoulder and just worked her off the line of the ball. Brazel again on an angle. That's what Daniel Harford's talking about. They're not going straight down the line. Butler's kick spoiled into the arms of Hosking. And Sarah gives it to Moody. It's smothered off her boot. Good defensive work from Dargan. In fact, it was spilling to Allen after the Dargan smothered as we head down to Georgie Parker.
Steve Simons, full of praise for his players, absolutely loving the pressure displayed in that first quarter. He's just asking his midfielders just to lower the eyes a little bit, put it in front of those forwards who have been pretty damaging so far.
Malloy wraps up Dalton. Pies' physical pressure's been impressive. Pings around inside the contest. Leighton does well, below her knees. Slaps it forward and gets it moving for Collingwood. Well played, Charlene Leighton. Kick inside 50 from Chiocci. 2-on-1 for the Blues. They both went to ground. That opens the door for Darcy. She can trot in, hand it off, and now Sheridan gets her first goal in AFLW football. So Carlton had the numerical advantage in the contest. They both went to ground. The Pies kept their feet. And they now lead by 14 points.
Well, Shani Leighton take a bow because both of two of the Collingwood goals now have come as a direct result of her work. Just that little tap on that forward movement opens it up for the rest to do the work.
That all started with Shani Leighton.
Shani Leighton, take a bow. I mean, this is terrific ruck work, what you want to see the big people doing and getting on the ground, and just that little tap forward that's opened it up for the little people to do the work and really slice Carlton over and down the ground. Congratulations, she's been involved in 2 now.
We always talk about the importance of keeping your feet, and that's why Pies get a goal from it. The Blues under pressure here. They trail by 14 points as Prespakis is taken down.
Shani would be the first person to tell you too that she felt like a bit of a passenger when the ball went to ground in her first season. So huge part of her development already we're seeing in this game.
She wins the hit out. Prespakis taken down solidly. Big hit. And through comes Lambert. Delivers inside 50. Carlton under some pressure. Sheridan again was clean. Lambert followed on. Gets it to Darcy. She'll play on. Run into an open goal. And the Pies are running hot. So the Pies once again just blasting through the middle with good, hard, physical football, willing the ball forward. Darcy gets on the end of it for her first goal this afternoon. And suddenly the margin's out to 20 points. Another big hit. Down went Prespakis. Lambert did a great job to just slap it out of her hands.
Yeah, Jamie Lambert got the clearance and then her follow-up work too to get to the fall of the ball of her own kick. She got 2 possessions in that chain and pumped the ball inside 50 to a dangerous space where Sarah Darcy did the rest of the work.
So the Blues are getting bullied at the moment. Moody coughs it up. Lambert gets it to the 50 again. Leluifi takes the defensive mark. Carlton just need a bit of time in possession here. This is Wilson. She'll poke it wide to Hosking. It'll bounce over the back. Walker left it behind. Has some support. Hosking releases Dalton. Takes on the tackler. uses her speed, delivers to 50. It had good penetration, too much in fact for Stevens, and it was nicely read by Butler.
Beautifully read by Butler. She was onto that very early then, just made great position out the back. Good intercept mark.
Stevens comes at her as Butler swings it wide to Brazel, who couldn't hang on. And the Blues can set up inside their forward 50.
Brazel doing an excellent job on Darcy Vesio so far. Just the one possession for Darcy.
We mentioned Katie Loynes earlier in the opening minute of the quarter. Pulled up sore after a contest, maybe just a corky on the thigh. We'll get some more information from Georgie shortly. Vesio in the ruck against Leighton. Dalton lays a tackle on Sheridan. Rowe gets to the football first, confronted by Hosking, did beautifully. Released a handball to Butler. Butler's kick to the middle of the ground. Allen couldn't control it. Dargan tries to slip away from Jess Hosking. Beautiful spin. A blind turn from Lambert, but then she gets run down. Beat the first, but not the second, and Jess Hosking gets her scalp. Hosking's kick towards Leighton and Prespakis. Again, Leighton at ground level. Can left it behind. Prespakis handballs to the voice of Wilson. Wilson off a step towards half forward. Harris slides out. Livingston keeps her feet. Walker confronts her, so she flips it backwards towards Porter. Walker gets rid of Porter. Opens the door here for G. She gains some territory. Vesio at the back. Well played, Fowler. In fact, it was Fowler versus McAvoy. Here's Brazzali. A 2-on-2. Brazzali on Dargan. Chiocci's handball. Partly intercepted by McAvoy. Chance here for Stevens. She's under pressure. Hooks it back towards the pocket. Coming out to meet it was Harris. So clever. What a goal from Walker.
Oh, no,
it hit the post. It's rolled along the goal line.
Oh, it deserved a goal.
Brilliant bit of team football. The entire ball has got to be totally across the line. Let's take another look.
Oh, puff of wind.
Oh, that's a goal.
That's over.
A goal.
I mean, from our angle.
Well, you look at the shadow. The entire shadow was over as well, but a point. No goal line review in AFLW. Here's G. Now Leluifi. High kick inside 50. Harris couldn't mark it. McAvoy at the back. Livingston picks up the football, immediately tackled. Took the contact.
She's been fantastic, Livingston. She's got the big job on Taylor Harris, and she's got a game-high 7, or team-high 7 possessions for the Pies.
Here's another look. Goal umpire in perfect position, but that looks over.
It looked like it bounced up and rolled back in.
Sure did. Brazel. Casey. Now Benici. Runs away from G. Punches a kick to a 2-on-1. It goes through the legs of Alexander. Harrington at the back gets a good shepherd from Hosking. Tried to flip a handball over the top to Downey, but Allen got in the way to cut it off. She releases to Alexander. Quick hands from Can. Now Shevlin. Tackled, lingered. Advantage paid. 1-on-1 forward to the football. Well played, Wilson. Had to get a hand to that because Lambert was over the back. She's got some support. Umpire said in the back. Free kick to the Blues. In fact, he's turned it around. Free kick Collingwood.
He paid it in the back free kick initially, but then reversed it and said it was a throw. He signalled for in the back.
Yeah, he did.
And then changed it to a throw.
He must have had one of the outer zone umpires talking to him that, no, in fact, it was a throw. But even then, the in the back overrules a throw, so
yeah,
it's the...
Very strange.
Yeah.
Should have been a Carlton free kick. Downey against Leighton. G slaps it out in the Prespakis direction. Looking for an option. We'll swing it wide. Stevens will have a couple to beat here. Benici and Butler. Butler engages, allows Benici to take it uncontested. Little chip kick towards half forward. Downey comes out. Needs some support. It's got Vesio there. Vesio looks for an option at half forward. It's Harris. Will get there on the bounce. She goes to ground, and again Livingston keeps her feet and takes the advantage. Back towards the wing, turns it over. Prespakis can look up. She's got absolutely nothing to kick to inside 50. Rose should get there and cut this off. She'll be under pressure from Brazzali. Had to pop a quick handball. Coming through was Doonan. Important little toe poke. Livingston attacked it. She went to ground. Doonan flips it back towards Brazzali. She's tackled. Stands up. Eventually taken down and gone. Let's head boundary side. Here's Georgie Parker.
Katie Loynes getting a fair bit of work on her hamstring and the top of her calf. She's complaining about not being able to push off and have too much power. I think we're assessing this. It's been since the first quarter, since a tackling incident, so we'll see how she goes.
She's been off for a while now, hasn't she, George? As O'Day kicks towards the wing. Well, Plain and Downey left it for each other. And that opens a door at the back here for Dargan. She'll get a shepherd from Allen and will look to bring it inboard on the angle. Lalawifi arrived late, good closing speed, and then earns a free kick. And the Carlton fans let the umpires know all about it. It's been a spirited contest. Lalawifi's got a couple of numbers. She finds G. Little handball. Dalton almost sold into trouble. Had to kick quickly. Dangerous position here for the Pies, but it'll trickle out in front of Alana Porter. So the margin at 19 points. Collingwood with a couple of goals early in this second term to open up a handy advantage. Vesio at the front rather against Fowler, but it spills to Brazel. Her kick out in the Alexander direction. The athletic Lalawifi coming in the other direction. She can gather and go. High kick inside 50. Prespakis worked underneath it by Benici, who takes the mark.
Getting a little frustrated, Prespakis. Might be time to send the runner out.
It's a great matchup for her, Benici. Yep. She's got all the defensive attributes of a tagger, but she wins plenty of the footy herself. It's often the perfect matchup for a player like Prespakis.
Allen with the falcon off the face. It comes to Brazzali. She has a flying shot at goal and makes her pay. Lauren Brazzali with a vital goal for the Blues. They get their second. Margin back to 13 points. Sometimes it's better not to have any time, Days. Her last goal, Lauren Brazzali, was round 2 of 2017. Since then, she's kicked 8 straight points. Didn't have time to think that time, just slotted it.
She's a booming kick on the run, so maybe you're right. No time to think, no set shot, but they needed that, the Blues.
Katie Loynes back on into the contest. She's got Lambert for company, and Lambert wins the clearance. Gab Pound will get there first. Good run down tackle from behind from Can. Play on the call. Here's Lambert. Pops a little handball over the top against Brazzali. Free kick Carlton over the shoulder. It's going to Grace Egan. Her 9th touch coming up. Goes towards Moody versus Brazel. Brazel with the superior athleticism, but runs out of space and numbers.
Yeah, it might be a last touch overall. The boundary umpires called a throw-in, but it was a handball that went out, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And I thought there was going to be a lasso on it.
Field umpire looked to come in and maybe overrule the boundary umpire there. So it's a throw in. It's a short throw in. Downey read it well, but couldn't make an effective tap. Leighton's little tap over the top to Kiochi. She runs into Loynes. Now a chance for Egan. Hoisted high. Moody sets herself. Well done, O'Day. Came across the front of that contest. Wore a high one and then a second and earns herself a free kick. Her third touch coming up.
Doesn't hesitate, does she, Ebony O'Day, when the ball's in her area, or a player with the ball for that matter.
Steve Simons was quick to pick her up for that exact reason. He's coached her at Norwood and knows she is just straight ahead, tough as nails. High kick from Can will be cut off by Harrington. Just under 4 minutes remaining in the opening half. Game delicately poised right now. That's a dangerous kick from Harrington, but the Blues have got plenty of numbers. It's 4-on-1.
Good pick up.
Plain flips a handball to Pound, and eventually numbers almost win out. They're not quite out yet. Great pressure from the Pies forced them backwards, and in the end Egan had to concede back to Harrington, which is where that first kick really came from.
It was the right option from Harrington. There was space there. Probably needed a bit more work from her teammates just to separate that one Collingwood defender.
Superb mark from Jamie Lambert. We've already sung her praises about what an underrated player she is.
Oh, she's having a really great impact on the game at the moment. That was a solid mark. Some great marking for both sides today, in fact.
10th touch for Lambert coming up. Good effort from Loynes on the mark.
8 of them in this quarter for Lambert.
And here's Downey. Dargan just called back off the mark. Leighton has it covered. El Downey. Go long down the line. Livingston wrestles with Harris. At ground level, Livingston again doing well. Pops out to Shevlin. She goes laterally to Benici, who's pressured by Pound, and Lambert now keeps it alive, bends it across her body. Leighton dropped the mark, but she's got runners either side. She can use Rowe. Rowe will explode away from Downey, who calls for assistance. Lalawifi did well. Great run-down tackle from Hosking. The Blues came from everywhere. Downey knew she was in trouble. She was waving her arms for support, and the cavalry arrived.
Oh, wow.
Hosking as they set up to the outer side. Lalawifi. The Blues now looking to work it laterally, taking a leaf out of Collingwood's book. Lalawifi's kick, pitches in front of Hosking. She's got plenty of time, does Jess. She goes for territory down the line. Moody arrives late, takes her own player out. At ground level, the Pies, the beneficiaries. Hosking attacked it, it'll spill to Darcy at the back. Hosking takes her down. Tackle lingered, umpire said play on. Membry the fend off on Plain. Hosking will go again. Chance here for the Pies through Dargan. Flips it out to Kiochi. She can bring it inboard and got Leighton in some space. Blues have got 2 numbers back, the only 2 players inside 50, so Leighton needs to hang on to it.
Yeah.
She'll chip it to 50, and somehow Darcy's just found a hole. So everyone feeds back. As you can see, there's plenty of space, 30 or 40 metres in front of that group to lead into. A couple of half leads there. No one fully committing. Darcy will go herself from 50, keeps it low, punches it hard, beats all comers. Dangerous spot here for the Blues defence. Collingwood have got some numbers. Can Carlton shut it down? They pile in on top of it. Umpire will call for it. Gab Pound will come up with the football. 48 seconds left. Can the Pies steal a late one? Leighton and Downey. Leighton tried to take it out of the ruck. It almost worked. Lingering tackle there on Membry. Umpire says play on.
Moving scrum here.
Both teams look absolutely exhausted. They'll be looking forward to a breather at half-time. Hot conditions, and it's been a hot football. Blues need to be clean here. Loins will just go for distance. 30 seconds remaining. Can the Pies pump it back inside through Malloy? She's under pressure. Coming the other way, Downey. Malloy. Stevens. Harris. Just lingering over the top of her, making sure it doesn't come out.
Pressure relieved there for Carlton. They had all their numbers in at that deep defensive 50 stoppage. We're going to be kicking to Collingwood numbers, so did well just to create a contest at the top of the 50.
Loins and Benici, and it comes to Harris, who just kicks it high for territory. 10 seconds left for the Pies to go from the centre of the ground. Brazel doesn't know it. She'll slow it down. And that will be all for a really entertaining first half of football. The Pies with a 13-point lead at the major break. They kicked 2 goals to 1 in that second term and built on their 8-point advantage at quarter time and turned it into a 13-point half-time lead in what's been a really enjoyable contest, Beck.
It's a 13-point lead, but it still feels like it's really in the balance. You don't know what way it's going to tip at any given moment. Peaks and troughs with some really terrific marking by Collingwood that quarter. Probably had more opportunity to tear them apart and couldn't quite do it, but also a couple of really strange incidents that hopefully we'll take a look at after half-time, with a Carlton kicking a goal that wasn't a goal, and then we had a turnover of a free kick in the centre of the ground. Yeah, strange scenes.
It's had a bit of everything, hasn't it, Days, this game so far?